Many people voted for Trump just because of their worry of what damage a more liberal Supreme Court could do in years ahead. Kurt Levy of the Committee for Justice and Freedom Works.
People were particularly sick of liberal judicial activism.
Groups advising the incoming Trump administration on a Supreme Court nominee are offering their opinions about those now on the president-elect's short list. John Malcolm of the Heritage Foundation says federal judge William Pryor is a favorite among pro-lifers for blasting the high court on its 1973 ruling legalizing abortion nationwide.
Before he became a judge, he had written an article in which he referred to Roe v. Wade as the worst abomination in the history of constitutional law.
Levy points out Pryor's been blasted in the Senate before.
And some of the Democrats accused him basically of being too Catholic. And we took out ads that said Catholics need not apply.
Malcolm and Levy both have praise for federal judge Dianne Sykes, and they warn she'll face opposition.
She's a solid conservative, very bright. Both of those alone are enough to make Democrats come after her.
She has a long track record and has certainly written a number of opinions that please conservatives, and so I'm sure that the Democrats would come up with some way to attack her if she's the nominee.
Both judicial experts also pointed out 48-year-old Michigan Justice Joan Larson, who actually clerked for the now-deceased Justice Antonin Scalia.
She was highly admired by all the Scalia clerks.
Larson's also a state court judge, which, if you're looking for a little diversity on the court, would be nice, since none of the people who are there now came from state courts.
The fact that all of her Scalia clerks, who probably many of them are conservatives, think highly of her, says something about her judicial philosophy.
Then there's the young pro-Second Amendment federal judge Thomas Hardiman, who used to drive a taxi while in law school.
Interesting story. Grew up in a family of very, very modest means. I don't think that his parents went to college. He put himself certainly through law school and possibly through college as well, driving a taxi cab.
Democrats, like their new Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, have sworn stiff opposition to virtually any Trump nominee.
I don't care how qualified you are, just the fact that you're conservative, is reason enough to oppose you. Schumer is high on that list of Democrats who have said that.
I certainly think that he will try to obstruct any nomination.
But since when they were the majority, they used the so-called nuclear option to stop the GOP minority from blocking Obama nominees, Dems are likely to face that themselves now that they're the minority.
Well, the shoe is somewhat on the other foot.
At the end of the day, if they try to filibuster, that Republicans will use the nuclear option.
Democrats are sure to not like any of Trump's picks, and though they've lost much of their power, they're sure to put up a fight against them. Paul Strand, CBN News, reporting from the Supreme Court.